Hey Edna, how you doing this morning, honey? I'm good, I'm good. Y'all have a good Labor Day? Yeah, we did, honey. Things got a little exciting over here on this side of the river for a little while, though. Uh-huh. Yeah, we was all still getting stuff ready. The boys were over there flipping burgers, and the girls getting stuff out, and the kids in the sandbox. And you, honey, you know me, I was on the porch in the swing. That's where I was. And I was just waiting for everything, and I was sitting there, and the sheriff's car and the ambulance go running by fast, honey, sirens just a-blazing. Girl, I can't, my ears are so sensitive to that, I can't handle that. Anyway, and I thought, well, what in the world is going on? I hadn't even got the thought formed in my head good before I heard Lola Bell. And I turned around and I said, well, what in the world? Girl, it was that little group, Lucy and her three. Lucy and Thelma and Phyllis and Sue. Yeah, you know. And they said, you hear what just happened? I said, I hear what just happened. I said, what are y'all doing? She said, did you hear what just happened? I said, no. I said, I still hear sirens a-going. They just going down the road. I don't think the police even know what's happened yet. Lucy said, well, I can tell you what happened. I said, well, tell me what happened, Lucy. She said, now, you don't know I don't know if you know these people because you don't go to church with us, but you pass them every time you come over to the house. Yeah, they got the goats in the yard with just the big old piles of bricks, you know, where the goats are always standing. And they got that big old sign at the end of the driveway. It says, prayer will get you to heaven, trespassing will get you there sooner. Yeah, it's them. They sweet people. Yeah, you never know it, and I think they want to keep it that way. Anywho, she said, yes, honey. She said, a big old fight broke out. I said, well, what happened? She said, well, the son just got married like last year sometime, maybe not even a year. And she said, this is the first time that the girl has brought tater salad to a cookout with the family. And she said, one of his cousins was eating that tater salad that his wife brought. And his cousin said, ooh, this is the nastiest tater salad I ever had. Ain't got no taste to it at all. Who made this? And his wife piped up and said, I did. And his cousin said, well, you didn't put no onions, no pickle relish, no nothing in it, honey. You could have just brought a bowl of taters. At least we could have put butter and sour cream and bacon on them or something. And his wife said, well, that's how my mama taught me to make it. And his cousin said, well, your mama needs to stay out the kitchen because she ain't a good cook. That's when it started. Yes, ma'am, that is when it started. Sure did. Lucy said they got up and they started going at it. Honey, the dogs started. They was going at it. The little old kid cousins in the sandbox started going. There was fur flying, forks flying, and sand flying. Everything was flying. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, how in the world do you girls always know these things? I don't understand. I think I do understand, honey. I think they instigate stuff. I think they go to places and they start stuff just so they'll be able to say, hey, we know something. And I think what we ought to do is we ought to take the title first responders from the actual first responders. We're going to give them something more appropriate. We're going to call them the early bird heroes. That I think that goes. And we're going to take first responders and we're going to put it on this group of Lucy and her three because they always know everything before anybody else does.